My entire family.
I know exactly
even if
how
I was
kind,
related to them.
Yeah, I know how kind I'd be. I've actually written about this for the New York Post tonight. I mean, James, what I would do if one of my family, one of my siblings, has spent the last few years trashing the family on television, trash my wife, trash my dad's wife, trash my dad, trash my sister, and so on, I would dismember them one limb at a time. And after I'd severed all their limbs, I would probably incinerate them.
I think that's disgusting.
I know, but that's what I do.
We're talking about King Charles, who has cancer right now.
How could you be surprised? I'm the devil. That's
What are you
devils do.
talking about, Piers?
That's what devils do. Here's my point. I mean metaphorically, right? What I mean is, I would be utterly
Why is this a
enraged.
conversation about Harry, who wrote a book a while ago that's like being read by everyone? Like, who cares now?
Welcome. This is Majesty Sussex Report, and I'm Antonia. If you're not a subscriber yet, do consider hitting that subscriber button and being part of our community. Thank you. The discourse surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle continues to take a disturbing violent turn, as evidenced by recent comments from media personalities like Piers Morgan. His statement about dismembering Prince Harry, if he were Prince William, is not just a shocking instance of poor taste. It is systematic of a deeper, more pervasive issue within the media landscape. A cavalier attitude towards violent rhetoric and the consequences it may have. Such comments made in the public domain transcends the bounds of free speech and ventures into the realm of incitement. They contribute to an already volatile environment where the subjects of these narratives and their families are not only dehumanized, but are presented as deserving of physical harm for their perceived transgressions. This is not journalism. It is definitely not entertainment. It is a callous disregard for the fundamental principles of human decency and respect for the sanctity of life. My plea is not to the UK media, no more, which has repeatedly demonstrated an unwillingness to commit to fairness, truth, and unbiased reporting. Instead, I address the international media, urging them to reconsider their reliance on these corrosive narratives and their purveyors. It is time to disavow the hate-filled and violent articles that have become all too common as sources of insight into royal matters. International media must reject this laziness, this ethical complacency, and start to do the work with respect and independent journalism. Let us not forget that words have power. They can uplift or destroy, enlighten or incite. When figures like Piers Morgan make light of violence, it is not just a laughing matter. It is a grave concern that must be met with unequivocal condemnation. We must strive for a media environment where sensationalism does not eclipse the essential values of empathy and factual integrity. It is not merely about holding individuals accountable. It is about demanding an entire system to reform and uphold the decency and the dignity of the individuals it reports on. We stand at a crossroads where we must decide the kind of society we want to cultivate. One where violent speech goes unchecked and is masked as jest, or one where we recognize the inherent danger of such rhetoric and commit to fostering a more responsible and considerate narrative. The choice is ours. And it is clear. We must champion a standard of reporting that respects the humanity of its subjects. And we must unequivocally condemn any deviation towards violence or hatred. The task ahead is not simple, but it is necessary. It is time to dismantle the machinery of malice and rebuild a media that stands for truth, responsibility, and a commitment to the better angels of our nature. Stop reading this stuff. Stop watching their shows. Stop clickbaiting and clicking on their articles. Call their sponsors, call their publicists, call the people who advertise on these channels and in these newspapers and say enough. We have seen how the media report on the war in Gaza. If you want to believe everything they say, okay, go ahead, believe it. I have said this before, and I'll say it again. What happens to Harry and Meghan matters. It's an education to have. Because if you believe everything that the media reports about Gaza, then you should believe everything the media reports on Harry and Meghan. But if you don't, if you're a person who is analytical, if you're a person that questions, if you're a person that can see with your own eyes, then you know what we should be standing for, what we have to stand for. And for those that are still asleep or pretending to be asleep, or for those that willfully put on a blindfold, and for those that say, well, that is not my problem. It is your problem. Because the way the media reports and the things that you believe affect your life.
Like empires, we rise and then we fall. Can the tides calling, calling through it all? Titans watching, waiting, once rivals, now we sit patient at the end of the world. Where will we be? Immortality empire.